give us some of the overview of what life was like growing up for you here in Cape Town, and some of the challenges you faced as a young person?
Yeah, I think Tom, it wasn't always that doom and gloom. There were moments where I started to encounter goodness. However, it wasn't in my own home. It wasn't in my home environment. In my home environment, abuse was the order of the day, and that shaped me as an individual. That shaped who I was to become. There were moments where when I would go out and I'd meet different people, I'd go to my family, and their home environment would be way different than mine. And what would happen then, hope would come on the inside of me. But later on, when the holiday was over, or the time that I've spent by my family's house, I had to go back home. And then I'd go back to the order of the day, or the norm of the day, which was my father consistently verbally abusing my mother, physically abusing and emotionally abusing her, because also of his challenges that he had. He never knew what it was to be a father, because his father wasn't a father to him. And even for me going to school, I had a really tough time growing up, and all these things shaped me as an individual. Even now, I have some challenges as I'm growing up, and I function as a pastor, but there's certain things that I realized that I haven't dealt with, that come from my childhood, and now I have to face it and I have to deal with it. Growing up was difficult, but in the end, God is using my story, for His glory. And so I'm always reminded of Genesis 50 verse 20. If I look at the life of Joseph, I look at the life of Moses, if I look at what they've been through, it's kind of similar to mine. And now God gets to use my story on the very Cape Flats where I've been hurt, where I've been broken down. I'm now coming into communities and I'm meeting people that was once upon a time like me, and I'm able to point them to Christ, the one who's the author and the very perfecter of our faith, the one that is able to help them out of their traumatic moments and bring them into victory.